Yanella Mbuthuma. But first thing is first, shout out to everybody tuning to that stream, and shout out to everybody that's still backing Orlando Pirates, regardless of the tough week that we just encountered. Talking about the 1-0 draw against Mazulu, then what a very shaky first half, a very cagey first half, up until Kampani Lungu released us and relieved us of all the tension that we are having. But this main focus on the video is definitely all about Yanella Mbuthuma. And as you can see, guys, probably you guys are definitely disagreeing with me on this one and are probably saying that Yanella Mbuthuma should not be benched, but we'll talk about that. We'll get into the crux of it. But first thing is first, shout out to everybody that has just subscribed to the channel, like the video, and also willing to share it with the other members of the Mabhakaniya Nation. So let's get straight to it, guys. Yanella Mbuthuma, the stats are out there. If you do not know, now you're about to know that Yanella Mbuthuma is yet to score in the competitive league, or maybe say the MTN 8 this season. I'm saying bench him, and I'm going to get straight to it, guys. The coach, I don't understand why is he still defending this. I don't understand why Coach Abdeslam Ouaddou is still doing this to us and still doing this to the boy. We've been talking about mental health lately for a very long time, for the past probably 6 years in football since the COVID-19 impact. We've been talking about mental health and the players and how are they getting supported and what causes it. First thing is first, when you join the big three in South Africa, I'm talking about Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs, you need to realize that there's going to be so much pressure for you to deliver because there's so many objectives that needs to be achieved by these teams. And most importantly, either one of the teams is not going to achieve what they wanted unless we can evenly share the domestic trophies. One wins the MTN 8, the other wins the league, the other team wins the Nedbank Cup, and probably the Carling knockout goes to the other team, and we all lose the CAF. Something like that would balance mentally for all the players. But let us focus on another thing here about Yanella Mbuthuma. Remember, he did debut for Bafana Bafana in 2025 when we were playing Mozambique. That is his only international cap that he has for Bafana Bafana under coach Hugo Bruce. That's before he played for Orlando Pirates. In that transfer window, that's the one that he joined Orlando Pirates in the year of 2025, going for that season that we just concluded last season. So let us get to it. Yanella Mbuthuma, guys, is struggling not because he's not delivering the goals and because we have to blame Yanella Mbuthuma. We can't. Yanella Mbuthuma, from the time he was playing for Richards Bay, it was already a struggle for him to get the numbers that were convincing enough for him to actually join Orlando Pirates. I'm going to ask another question to you guys. Like, tell me straight, what makes Yanella Mbuthuma a better striker than Radio Pane, for example? Or maybe even Evidence Makgopa for last season, given the minutes that they played? Because when you look at Evidence Makgopa, he played less minutes to Yanella Mbuthuma. But still, when we talk about the goals, the difference, guys, it was still like, there's no much difference. Yanella Mbuthuma didn't really deliver for us in a sense that we could say that he should still be our preferred number one striker at the moment. Fine. Sebastian Pedersen, we can say that he's still injured because I remember, somebody did tell me that Sebastian Pedersen, when he was at the airport arriving, they saw him limp. He wasn't walking normally as one would have expected. So that's where there was a hint that he could be carrying a knock coming into this new season. So with him lacking to feature or to debut for Mabhakaniya, it's evident that that could probably be an injury. Fine. We know about Evidence Makgopa that has been ruled out for 2 months as well. So we got two strikers that are now missing. And now we're left with two strikers. That is Yanella Mbuthuma and Mbuthuma Radio Pan. Now, look, we're talking about we must support Yanella Mbuthuma, and we are supporting Yanella Mbuthuma. That's the truth. And maybe some of you guys are thinking, maybe I'm just here to just talk nonsense, but I've been saying that Yanella Mbuthuma, he's a good player to a certain extent, but he can't carry Orlando Pirates to the objectives that needs to be achieved this season, not even last season. It was very hard last season for us to really achieve what we wanted. We had to get right to the end. We even missed out on the Nedbank Cup. We missed out on the CAF group stages. So I'm not going to say I'm blaming him, but I'm just showing you that that's the quality that we are lacking as Orlando Pirates in order for us to reach the competitiveness that we want to have. So, cool. Let's talk about his numbers as well, because Yanella Mbuthuma, when it comes to his numbers, I'm really surprised that how did he still make it to be part of Orlando Pirates given these numbers? Last season in the league, I doubt that he even managed to reach double figures. That is no way true that he could have reached double figures last season. I mean, even him with Evidence Makgopa put together, I doubt they could have reached double figures last season. So that's a problem, that the job that they've been called for is to just deliver goals. That's as simple as it gets. Score the goals. That's all that is needed from Yanella Mbuthuma, or say, okay, Evidence Makgopa is more of a, wow, I couldn't really say center forward, but yeah, it's more of a center forward. And apparently, now Yanella Mbuthuma is a center forward. He's not even a striker. So for a center forward, that is, even the assist, the link up as well. You saw yesterday, guys, like for that whole 60 minutes, there was hardly anything that we got from Yanella Mbuthuma to say it was a highlight. Maybe there was a shot, the goalkeeper parried our way for a corner kick or anything. There was really nothing from him yesterday. And that is another troubling factor, that from him, we expected that. And it's going to lead me to other couple of things to talk about as Orlando Pirates that we really needed to highlight, despite even the stats, because you know what, I'm not even going to talk about the stats. It's as if like I'm kicking a good man when he's really down. So how we won the game should be a highlight of exactly where we are struggling. And Coach Abdeslam Awadu came out and said that we need to support the guy. Even though when you look at it as a technician, you could see that Yanella Mbuthuma is doing a very good job in everything that he's been doing. And I'm like, okay, he is doing a good job, but what's his job in the first place? Isn't it his job is supposed to be banging in the goals for Orlando Pirates? That is what I'm actually thinking about, because that's what I thought should be the first thing for Orlando Pirates, is that Yanella Mbuthuma is supposed to be scoring the goals for us. But that's not what's happening. First thing is first, look at who are the goal scorers. And finally, out of all those things, one box that I've been complaining about, we finally got ticked yesterday. It's not by the player that I would have expected. I wanted this particular player to do it, but it wasn't him. But we'll get to it. Guys, the goal scorers, Kampani Lungu, assisted by Patrick Maswangai. That was good. You saw Cameron Danson coming through with the ball, passing Tito, moving forward, passing it to Kampani Lungu as well, hitting it, then the goalkeeper hitting it. Then that was something else that was excellent from the shot, that even Nwabali, I think, Nwabali, by parrying the ball into the net, that wasn't, so it had to happen like that, because a shot of that power, I believe that's what was needed there. So a goal in, Orlando Pirates ahead. Then the second goal, finally from a corner kick. I've been saying Dion Hoto. I've been saying that Dion Hoto, guys, if only we could play Dion Hoto as a winger, if only we could play Dion Hoto up front, then we could get more. But I don't know. Maybe that's not the case at the moment about Dion Hoto, that we still want to play him at the back. So I think we're missing out, especially from set pieces. We're missing out. I think Dion Hoto could give us a lot more if we could just utilize him. Corner kicks, fine. We just need people that are actually going to convert them. And shout out to Libone CM, because finally I've been needing a center back that is going to head in those goals. A lot of people are saying that Tupodlela, obviously, Captain Sbisi. His height. And looking at how he's playing the agility as well, doesn't really support his aerial ability. And I'm like, okay, fine, maybe it makes sense. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, but as a center back, that's what you need to do. Even our lucky Lekhwati, man, they were so aggressive. Like most Orlando Pirates center halves are so aggressive, especially on the aerial duels. That's exactly where they're going to kick you before you even jump. And they make sure that they have the advantage at getting first to the ball. So shout out to Libone Siema there. rising highest there and getting to the ball and making sure that he adds the second one and really calm our nerves in the game. And now what was more important was Daniel Msendami later on and making sure and getting that third one. Okay, fine, it wasn't a defensive error from Chippa United, but how you still keep your composure and how you still keep your nerves, how calm you are at finishing, being clinical, that's what was needed. Remember, Daniel Msendami, there was a cheeky shot where he chipped the goalkeeper. I think it was during the preseason. I just forgot particularly which game it was. He was passed by Cameron Danson. Then he chipped the shot, then it hit the crossbar. Then I was like, wow, okay, such eye for a goal and also to attempt it in that sense. I really liked it. And I was like, okay, no, this is it. I really like it, Daniel Msendami. Why are you not getting the chances? It goes back to Andre de Jong. I'm hearing that he has an injury, Andre de Jong. He's not even playing. He's not even playing for New Zealand. He didn't feature in the World Cup. And now he's even getting injured, not even featuring for us as well. So, my fate. No, man, it's something that is a problem for us, Orlando Pirates, on how are we going to rotate our players. So, fine. Given those match dynamics and looking at how the phases started, again, it leads us to Yanella Mbuthuma. First 45 minutes, I was so shocked. I was thinking, okay, fine, maybe he's not going to be put on the starting 11. He's going to be on the bench. That will be fine from Coach Abdeslam Oadu. Hey, and then the next thing, wow, here's our starting 11. Yanella Mbuthuma is on it. And I'm like, what? Yanella Mbuthuma, guys, is on the starting 11 again. This guy hasn't scored and he's been given the most minutes once again. How are the other strikers supposed to feel? Like Mabhakaniya Radiopane, who's been match fit. You know how hard he battled the injury last season in order for him to regain full fitness. And all of a sudden, he's not getting that much chance as he should. And you know what he could do for us, man. I mean, look at the football, look at the style of football that he's been playing for us. It's been phenomenal. But he's not been given that chance for us to produce what he can and, showcase his skills. I believe that he should start probably the next game. We're playing Skukune back-to-back, 3 fixtures. The MTN 8, then it's the league encounter at home. Then we are hosting them for the second leg of the MTN 8 semifinals. That is hectic for us, really. That is super hectic. So we're going to be sick of one another. But then we need to come up with another tactic because it seems like everybody has figured out how to shut out Yanella Mbuthuma. It just seems like that. Like, around, he can tire everybody, but he just seems to get to be on lockdown. These guys know exactly how to bottle him. They know how to pocket him. It's just crazy for me. I never expected it to be like this. But yeah, for me, what's more crazy, if I had to go straight to it, is how the second half dominance defined the match. That is for me exactly how I was actually surprised that, okay, fine. The first half ended in the 0-0. We were battling with Chippa United in the midfield. You saw how Cameron Danson, Tito Maswanganye as well, the yellow card that Tito Maswanganye was getting. I mean, it was a mental battle that was also happening in the midfield. And I'm like, okay, fine. And then we got to that goal. Yanella Mbuthuma is still nowhere to be seen when we got to that goal because it was all played in the right. So he was nowhere to be seen. And I was like, okay, fine. We exploited the weakness at Chippa United, but where's our striker in the middle of this? He's just picking the ball out from the net to just go and celebrate with the teammates. That is what's crazy about it. He's just doing that. So I'm like, okay, Yanella Mbuthuma, you better score. Because I had already given up. I had said he must score in the first 45 for being named in the starting 11, but he wasn't. So that was another problem that I noticed about how the game panned out. So that's one thing that I learned, that second half dominance, we need to turn it into first half dominance like we used to. So I can imagine if the guys can win the game in the last 30 minutes, if we try to bench Yanella Mbuthuma for 60 minutes and play him for the last 30 minutes, wouldn't it be possible for us to literally win the game in the first 30 minutes? Like, it all makes sense. All these games, we've been struggling. to win the games in the first half. We've been struggling to win the games comfortably. We have to work our socks off. I can't say yesterday we won the game comfortably. No, it wasn't comfortable. To score in the 60th minute, okay, fine. It was quick fire goals within 4 minutes. But to score in the 60th minute against Chipa United, and the goal not coming from a striker, I'm starting to believe, and a lot of people who said Kampani Lungu is our striker. I remember when the season started, I've always been yelling that we got four strikers. But others have been saying that, no, buddy, we got 5 or 6 strikers. And Kampani Lungu was one of those that were named in the striking department. So I'm starting to believe in it, because looking at the clinical finishing that we capitalized on, he was there. He was at the center of it, and I like it. So the tactical substitutions is another thing that we can talk about, guys, that actually paid off. As the Daniel Sendami's introduction, like I did mention later on in the game, I believe immediately impacted the scoreline for us. The 3-0 that actually put us on top of the log. Yeah, I think we need to value our substitutions. We need to value the depth that we have in our squad, because if we have Daniel Sendami ever since January, the lad has been with us for 8 months now. But when you look at the playing opportunities that he's been given, they don't reflect probably the morale that he has. I remember when he came through with on the interview, the player introduction interview that he gave, I was like, wow, dude, he swept me off my feet. And I was like, okay, I'm actually going to do a video about this, because I'm seeing something good from this guy. The attitude that he has coming to a squad that he admits that, well, time might be limited, but he's willing to push. When it comes to training, he's going to give it his 100%, if not 200%. So Daniel Sendam is that type of a player. So I'm actually happy that he's not entertaining the loan rumors. Remember, there was a loan rumor that was going on, especially from, I think, was it from Scotland FC from Zimbabwe, trying to loan him. So I don't know how that is actually going to pan out, but it seems to have simmered down. Nothing talked about the loan deal. So I think that one is actually good for us as a Mabhakaniya, that we get to keep Daniel Sendami, and that means that we also have more quality in our attacking options. So that is something that is good about our tactical substitutions that we have, and also the depth in squad. So another point I think, Mabhakaniya, we need to talk about is the defensive solidity that we have, that gave Sipho Chain another clean sheet. So, Kosnatis Bisi, Libone Siema, I've been happy with these guys. I'll be honest. How they've been defending, especially with the mid-table teams. Well, when we play against top teams, I get to scratch my head here and there. I'm still worried on how we're going to defend Brian Leon, especially if we're going to get to meet Mamelodi Sundowns in the MTN 8 final, provided we do get to progress to the final, because Nasis Kukune, hey, they have our number. If I'm not mistaken, Kukune United last season, didn't they show us flames? Yeah, I think they showed us flames last season, is Kukune United. So, guys, that is another thing that I'm actually looking at. So, defensively, I'd like to see us to continue doing what we're doing. I'm liking to see Libone Siema continue being phenomenal. I like to see Unkosnati Sbisech actually to go up front, to do what Libone Siema did with the corner kick, to hit those balls more oftenly. Maybe we can get more goals from the center halves. That can also calm our nerves. It can give them that feel-good factor as well. The reason why you find a player like Lakile Khwati to be the captain, fantastic that he was, is because not only was he doing the work defensively at the back, but also up front, he was leading by example. When the strikers were not getting those goals whatsoever, the captain, the general, Lakile Khwati, was there to do it for us. So I believe we've always had center halves that could always do the job for us. Well, there'd been time that we didn't have that quality, but right now I believe that Unkosnati Sbisi can actually step up, and Libone Siema, being defender of the season last season, makes sense to why he actually got the goal. So defensively, I'm happy. I'd just like to see Neo Rapo maybe being introduced more oftenly. I'd like to see Dino van Rooyen playing in the right back. And definitely, I'd like to see Kamugelo Sbilibili moving up front. I think Mike Sbilibili, guys, at the back, he's been limited. He gets frustrated. He can't always just be marking. I think the lad likes to go forward. He likes to attack more often, especially on the right wing, even cutting into the center as well. So he has that ball control. He has those skills as well. He can run at players as well, and he can try to dribble them and create something. So I think we are limiting Mike Sbilibili when we are playing him at right back, and we are forcing him to actually be more defensively. And at times, I think that frustrates him more oftenly instead of actually being there in front and waiting for the ball. But if not, you know that he can also help with tracking back and covering those spaces in case our right back has been caught napping. So that, I think that's another tactical implication that we can have. And I think if we could imply that into our game model, we could have so much better depth and we could have so much options, creative. I mean, Orlando Pirates is leading right now by creating chances. Aren't we the highest so far this season? We are creating the most. And when it comes to the conversion, yeah, no, that's where we are actually losing it. So if it's not for that, we'll get better. So yeah, talking about the implications that we have right now and the team morale, I think with this win reinforcing us back into the top of the season, it means the top of the log. It means that this season we are title contenders once again. It means that we are looking to defend our title. Remember, Orlando Pirates, after a drought from the league, which could be almost a decade to more than a decade, we usually win the league and retain it the following season. So this season, I'm looking at us to actually retain it. But Kaizer Chiefs, our main threats. Yeah, guys, we should be wary of Kaizer Chiefs. I was there at FNP Stadium checking out Kaizer Chiefs versus Mamelodi Sundowns. And what a cracker of a game. When you look at the intensity and how the players were approaching it, Kaizer Chiefs were also allowing Mamelodi Sundowns to have the ball, but not really that much. But I like how Kaizer Chiefs were really sound in clearing the ball. So that we need to do on time whenever we get to play big teams like Chiefs or Mamelodi Sundowns. We do not need to keep the ball at the back, and we shouldn't be back passing Sipho Chain quite oftenly, guys. Sipho Chain is not number 10, guys. He's not our number 8. He's not our ball distributor. But yes, as a goalkeeper, sweeper goalkeeper, I think at times maybe, yes, he can help us out and bail us out here and there, but not all the time. I don't know, Mabhakaniya, why are we using Sipho Chain as the guy that is supposed to start our play all the time? But yeah, it's all good, Mabhakaniya. I actually like how we are still doing it, how we actually won the game. So I'm also loving how we're going to get this rest. And what are we going to do as Orlando Pirates throughout this rest? It's also going to be important because we have injuries as well that we need to talk about. As you know that our Nduli has been injured. And okay, the rumors, some people were saying it's 8 months. All of a sudden, it's no longer 8 months. Some are saying it's 4 months. I wonder, let me just check it out if Nduli injury has been confirmed, the length of it and what type of an injury it's going to be. It is, so yeah, it's going to be 4 months after suffering a grade 3 ligament tear. So yeah, okay, definitely that's a bad one. That's a bad one. We're only going to see him December, probably when we are playing the on December the 16th. I think we're playing Richards Bay away on December the 16th. That's another fixture probably he wouldn't want to be reintroduced. He wouldn't want to be reintroduced in KwaZulu-Natal, having that horror comeback in Durban just last week against Amazulu. So that's another thing about our injuries. I understand our squad. That's why we have a lot of players as Orlando Pirates, guys. It's because we could have injuries. Never mind suspensions. I can see our players. We're quite disciplined when it comes to yellow cards, etc. Just that thing I Maswanga yesterday. But when it comes to yellow cards, we're quite disciplined. My only concern would be the injuries because we want to be as competitive as possible. We want to feature in all these competitions. We want to feature in the CAF Champions League until the late stages, probably reach the final. We want to defend our MTN 8. We want to defend our Carling knockout. We want to retain the league title. We want to do better than we did in the Nedbank Cup because it was embarrassing to lose to Keswick Stars at home on penalties. Yeah, that was quite embarrassing. So I think the only difference here for our coach is the fact that he won the league and he also won the Carling knockout, something that has been eluding us for a very long time. So that elusive trophy finally brought it home. So I believe in Coach Abdeslam Owadu. However, I don't like this whole thing of Yanella Mbuthuma always getting their go-ahead from everybody. Yanella Mbuthuma, guys, I think he just needs to be benched a little bit. He needs to come off the bench. Then I'm going to be at ease a little bit with the tactics that Orlando Pirates are going to be using. That is the only thing that I have against Coach Abdeslam Owadu at the moment. Other than that, you know what? I think maybe if we can get another striker, maybe. Because now looking at Evidence Makgopa and being injured, I think it only makes sense if we can get ourselves another striker. I think it's going to be better that way. If we get ourselves another striker, then for us as Orlando Pirates, it means that we could be comfortable. Because my problem is we can't even play a 4-4-2 formation or any formation that can play two strikers up front. We're not playing it. We're not exercising it. Let me check out. Yesterday was there a moment that we actually got to play two strikers at the same time. Because Yanella Mbuthuma did come off late. I think it was in the 77th minute, somewhere there, if I remember. But I don't remember us having two of them having that goal, exchanging passes, and we were like, okay, yeah. This is Orlando Pirates, guys. Like, remember, was it that time Ronaldo Machoro playing with Kemit Erasmus? Yeah, but there was a time that we also had Abu Kabuza as well at the same time. Like, we could have those strikers at times playing together, especially if we are struggling for goals. So, I don't know now, Guti. Okay, this new age football of a 4-3-3. Hey, I don't know, guys. No, man. Yeah, I guess it's going to have to do a lot of learning from us and a lot of understanding on how does it actually operate. But I'm not happy with it. I think we also have to play traditional football. We need to be able to play basic football, get back to our fundamentals, and be able to play those type of formations. And I think it will do better for us. So let me just see yesterday about the substitutions, actually what happened, because that is what I'm more interested in right now. Mamelodi Sundowns are in action, I think, on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, to play their catch-up game. So that will also be interesting to see what Mamelodi Sundowns can come up with against Marumo Gallants. We noticed against TS Galaxy. Whoa, the game against TS Galaxy. What a match. What a match. Almost a repeat of last season encounter when they played against TS Galaxy at the Mbombela Stadium. So, hey, yay, guys. This is it. This is what we are talking about. Teams that have been undermined can't undermine them anymore. Can never undermine them. So let's see. Where's this full schedule here? SuperSport doesn't have the results. Wow, now this is shocking. Where am I going to get the starting 11 of yesterday, guys? Cheaper United and Orlando Pirates. Let's just hope we get something here. Wow, okay. So while do Hales are taking display, I think probably they're writing an article based on the post-match interview that he was given yesterday. So, that's interesting. See that he's hailing the attacking display, even though he knows that he's the one that withheld them from actually getting this result from the first half. And Maranayo, coach now, yakwatisa sometimes. Okay, so cool. Here we go. Daniel Sendami coming on for Oswin Apolis, Patrick Masonga, Simpiwe Masilela, Alboni Siema. Nope. Yanella Mbuthuma coming off for Kabelo Khositsile. Yeah, so okay, at that time, who was our striker at that time? It was Yanella Mbuthuma. So I guess Okapani Lungu was already playing in that formation as well. So you see, guys, fine. He tried it a little bit. Coach and Cameron Delson, Teteleni Mtiani, Dion Hoto, Neo Rapo. And yeah, that was it. That was definitely it from our coach. So going to our lineup as well. Yeah, no. How many substitutions did he make? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, five. Yanella Mbuthuma. So 5 substitutions that he made. He didn't bring on Uitumelo Radio Pan. Interesting. So, okay, it's cool. Let's coach up the Islam Award. Sometimes it's hard to get mad at a coach who's winning games, but hey, this thing is really going to cost us, guys. I don't know. Yanella Mbuthuma to be given a whopping 76 minutes after he was given how many minutes in the previous game? I think around about 70 something and 60 something in the first game as well. And remember, he was also playing in the MTN 8. So it's really worrying. It's really worrying to how long we're going to need to be patient with Yanella Mbuthuma starting our games and getting the goals, because even if Yanella Mbuthuma does score one goal, say in the next game against Kukuni, it's hard to really believe that he's actually going to hit the ground running consistently. It's hard to fathom that Yanella Mbuthuma is going to get another goal against Kukune midweek in the league. It's hard to think that he's actually going to get 2 goals maybe throughout this entire 3 encounters, maybe 1 goal in the one match, and maybe it's okay if he doesn't get to score in the other one. It's hard to see it. I really can't see where are we going to get those goals from Yanella Mbuthuma. So it is my concern that what is Coach Abdeslam Owadu going to do this coming weekend when we face Kukune United? I don't know, you guys. You can also drop your comments and tell me exactly who would you have up. Knowing the fact that Andre De Jong, let me just check out his injury as well. Even though he's not being used as a striker, I would always love to use Andre De Jong as a striker because, hey, guys, looking at his height, looking at his game model, he likes being aggressive, he likes pushing forward, and he has ball control as well. So last season, he was unlucky. So here the news, my goodness, when was this? 1 day ago. Okay, so he picked up a quad strain. So, okay, fine. If it's just a strain, it's okay. I think a strain can rule him out for, say, 2 weeks at most. But yeah, how does he pick up a quad strain while not even playing competitively? That's another thing that is just worrying for us. And then I remember Tshepang Moremi as well. Hey, let's also confirm Tshepang Moremi. I remember Tshepang Moremi as well is also injured. They said he received a knock yesterday and he won't be featuring in the game, and he did not. So let's also confirm Tshepang Moremi's injury right now at the moment. Okay, they're just saying it's a minor knock, like a strain. Non-severe. Initial assessments indicate no heavy structural damage. So probably is expected to return to the pitch before conclusion, definitely, of the current campaign. So yeah, encouraging news. Okay, so Sokala Tuma probably have just written something a couple of hours ago. So Sokala Tuma saying that Orlando Pirates appear to have avoided a lengthy injury setback with Tshepang Moremi, with sources indicating that the speedy winger is not expected to spend an extended period on the sidelines. Moremi was forced to undergo a late fitness assessment ahead of Pirates' clash against Chippa United after picking up a knock during the 1-0 draw against Amazulu at Kings Park Stadium. So Moremi expected soon. However, okay, let's see. They need to tell me something more constructive than making me read this whole bunch of words. Okay. However, indications are that the Bafana International's absence should be short-lived, with sources suggesting that he's expected to return soon and compete for selection in the upcoming matches. That would come as well as new welcome news for Abdeslam Mawadu, particularly with Pirates having lost Sihlin Duli to a more serious injury. Okay, fine. Yeah. I think that it just explains exactly what we're talking about, that it's just a minor knock that he has received, and it's probably going to come back. And yeah, compared to Talent Mbata, I think Talent Mbata, it's another player that, let me just quickly check him out, because I remember Talent Mbata is also out with injury, but to how long is he going to be out, I do not know as well. So let's see. Talent Mbata is currently undergoing rehabilitation for a foot and knee-related injury sustained during a match against Kukune United. Kukune United. When did we play Kukune United now? No. You see now, these things, they're like talking their own things. These AIs, they're going to make us report wrong things. Okay, so on the goal.com, I think I got something much more solid. So goal.com, they're saying another massive injury blow for Orlando Pirates as Bafana midfielders need surgery and could be ruled after striker ruled out for 2 months. Okay, that's evidence, Mahop. So, okay. So you see, Mbata needs surgery for the knee, probably. So, guys, midfielders, we restricted once again. So that's when we're going to need Cameron Danson to step up. Tito Maswanga, the work rate from him needs to step up as well, which I liked what I saw against Chipa. I don't know, was it him who was angry to being subbed off, or are people reading into things? But yeah, okay, I think I understand why he could have been angry to being subbed off, because he's gonna rest for a long period. It's not like we played midweek, so it makes sense why he would have wanted to stay on the pitch. So for Tito, he was having a good game, and the coach also came on the post-match interview saying that Tito was playing very good. But a lot of us can't understand why didn't you keep him on for the whole game, because he was giving a lot. And I think at that time where you took him off, we could have probably added another goal. We could have finished the game probably 4-0 or even 5-0. And we need those goals. Mabhakaniya need those goals, because in order to send a statement to the rest of the oppositions, and also remember, this league could be determined by goal difference as well. As you noticed last season, goal difference was also a possibility. That's what actually knocked Mamelodi Sundowns from believing that they can actually win the league right at the end. It was the whole goal difference saga. So we can actually use this to our advantage right at the start, and we can actually beat teams before we can actually kick the ball. So yeah, those are the injuries that we are having, Mabhakaniya, right now, and they're really troubling a little bit to think that we have really good players that are missing. So Abomakhetle and Makaul are going to need to step up. They're going to need to help in. Remember, Kabelo Dlamini, we're no longer having a free kick specialist, guys. So Rile William Fukeng is no longer with us. So Oswin Apollis, not Dion Hoto. I think they're currently our free kick specialist. Kabelo Dlamini being injured, we don't have any other. So, we're going to need them to step up there on the set pieces. Dion Hoto is helping us with the corner kicks. So, Oswin Apollis, man, he's been rested since the FIFA World Cup. He's not been playing as much as we would have expected. And I just wonder, with the news about FC Porto, and also with what happened to his close friend, the late Grootman, Jaden Adams, has it also taken a toll on Oswin Apollis as well? So we need to look at those things, guys. But I believe, as Orlando Pirates, Brotherhood Part 5, it's really coming. With what I'm seeing from the coach, with how he was angry in the previous game against Amazulu, and the reactions as well, I'm seeing Brotherhood Part 5 coming through soon. And yeah, it's going to be a good one, guys, because it's nice to see how our players, how committed they are. It's also good to see how they also want to go through to the later stages of every tournament and probably win it. How are we going to fare out against Iskukuna United this coming weekend? it's also going to be interesting. So we're going to be doing a whole lot of building up to it. Mamelodi Sundowns are going to help us with the build up because they are playing Marumo Gallants on Wednesday. They are hosting them. So that one is actually going to help us in terms of thinking, okay, how the building up is going to be. Has Mamelodi Sundowns drop points after dropping points against Kaizer Chiefs at the FNB Stadium? That is also interesting. That is super interesting. So, hey, okay, what's up, man? Sunclass says, second, if you are not in the online record, we are not commenting on your content. Yeah, buddy, man. Who's this? Matota Maveluga Simtini. Buddy, man, the shades are always here all the time. And if I'm not in this, then you still don't know who I am. But yeah, anyway, to what we're still saying, guys. Orlando Pirates, we have a lot going forward. We need to really get our strikers on fire. We need to make sure that we are doing everything that we need to do. We need to make sure that we are scoring all those goals. We need to make sure that, you know, when we approach our oppositions, every time when we get to welcome a team, when they come as Godini, they are already fearing. This thing that Durban City almost did about Orlando Pirates is just a name, and everybody just thinking that they can come as Godini, they can just play Orlando Pirates. However, we need to calm those statements down. That whole undermining and the whole disrespect, we need to make sure we deal with it, we chop it off. And that's exactly what we did with Chippa United. So Skukune United, you know what would be much nicer? If we can beat Skukune United in the first two matches. If we can beat them 3-0, 3-0, guys, away in the MTN 8 semifinals. Then beat them 1-0 or 2-0, Lanes Scottin in the league. It's fine in the other game. We can draw because it's just a second leg. It won't make any impact if we get to draw that game. We need to also play the youngsters and rotate the squad because we'll be playing, I think, Kruger United. Yeah, our fixtures, guys, they don't look... remember, I think the international break has been merged. The international break for September and October has been merged to be 3 weeks. So there's going to be 4 match days, international match days. So we're going to need to make sure that we push hard. So yeah, we're playing Skukune then. And who else are we playing? Kruger United. Where is that game? Kruger United. But I'm not sure about Kruger United because remember, we need to play our first preliminary round for the CAF Champions League against Lakure Waves. So that's another interesting one to see what's going to happen. Is the Kruger United game going to be moved? And if it's going to be moved, it has to be moved to somewhere in between the 5th and the 12th of September. So it's an away game. Probably it's going to be hosted in Mbombela. So that one is going to probably be around about, okay, the fixtures in between the 8th or the 9th of September. That game is going to be moved. The Kruger United against Orlando Pirates. So I'm expecting that. I'm going to be expecting that we even hosting Durban City again. You Mabhakaniya. On the 16th of September, we have a very crucial fixture once again. Durban City. Then we're going away to Marumo Gallants on the 20th. So you see all these fixtures are going to happen all before the international break. And I'm not sure when the MTN 8 final is scheduled to be this season. Is it going to happen before the international break in September, or are they going to try and squeeze it in October just after the international break? Because in October, we only have 2 fixtures and the 2 preliminary round, second round fixtures of the CAF Champions League, provided we get to qualify for that round and we progress at the expense of Lakure Waves, Sylvester of Mauritius. So, hey, guys, this is interesting. A whole lot of fixtures. By the time we reach the international break, we must have played 7, guys. That's almost a quarter. Yeah, in fact, that's like a quarter. That's like the quarter of a league season. Because, yeah, 30 divided by 4, it should give us 7.5 or something like that. Am I right? Yeah, it should be 7.5. Let me just check. Yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, but yeah, should be that. So yeah, that's like a quarter of the season gone by the first international break. Yo, yeah, no, Mabhakaniya. So we need to make sure that we pick up as much points. We already dropped 2 points against Amazulu. We can't afford to drop any further points because, no offense, no offense, but we are not playing major teams. Amazulu is the only team that, I'll be honest with you guys, that I don't feel bad dropping points against. Atazwan has done a great job with Amazulu. They reached the top four. They were contending for the Confederations Cup with Kaizer Chiefs. At some point, mathematically, they could have also qualified for the CAF Champions League. So that's how good Amazulu is. And remember, against Amazulu, we robbed them of onside goal and it was ruled offside. So we need VAR. So remember, technically, we robbed them. We should have lost that game 2-1. But given the injury from Mutando Letungwenya to Sikhenduli, that justifies it. It doesn't, because we're missing a player of a lot of game time. But at the same time, you know what I mean. Football talk. But yeah. So we need to do that, guys, because yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of football that is going to be expected. Then, yes, we're going to have the November international break, where there's only 2 fixtures that have been scheduled for November. That is our away trip against Welele, and we are hosting Golden Arrows on the 28th of November. So given that, guys, I'm looking at the fact that Orlando Pirates, by the end of the year, we should have round about 35 points. No, 40 points. No, 35 points. 35 points. 35 points should be plus minus, yeah, the points that tell you that we should be up by the end of this year, 2026, because we would have done half of the league. That would be the match day 14 against Polokwane City on the 19th of December before our break. So I'm hoping by then we could have reached 35, going to 40 points. That means exactly that we're doing very well in retaining our league title. So those are the objectives that we have. The first one, you multiplied. 7 multiplied by 3, 21. We've already dropped the 2, so we're looking at 19 points. By the time we go to our first international break in September, we should be plus minus 19, if not 17 points. We can only drop 2 more points, but I don't expect us to drop points against Marumo Gallants away. I don't expect us to drop points against Durban City at home. And I don't expect us to drop points against Kruger United, who were shamboked by Kaizer Chiefs on their debut 3-1. And I'm also expecting us to win against Kukune United at home in the league during midweek on the 25th of August, because the first leg of the MTN 8 away would have given us an idea, and it's playing on a Saturday. Oh no, guys, I was hoping it's a Sunday. Oh, now this is troubling for me too. Okay, never mind. But yeah, oh dear me. Why is it on a Saturday? Ish. Okay, so yeah, that's what it is, Mabhakaniya. Thank you so much for this one, guys. And I don't know, what do you think, guys? How do you think we're actually going to fare out going forward into the month of September? Because now we still have the month of August, still have a couple of fixtures. We have 3 fixtures, Skukune United to conclude our month of August. Then we're going to have your Kruger United. So right now, our women's month, the end of the women's month, here in South Africa, we're going to be celebrating it with Skukune United. It's our love affair that we're having with them. 3 back-to-back fixtures that we're going to be playing Skukune United with their coach Cedric Kaze, who has this approach into the game that kill the game. That's the way of also holding the ball possession and making sure that the opposition, they don't get the ball possession and they get frustrated without the ball. So we can expect something like that from Cedric Kaze. We can expect something like that. That is something that is now going to be worrying to. Have we seen Orlando Pirates without the ball, the frustration that we're going to get to have? So I hope Coach Abdeslam Owadu is working on that. How are we going to keep possession of the ball? That will be super interesting. So I'm also looking at those things, Mabhakaniya. On the next streams as well, we'll be talking about tactical formations as well. On this one, I just wanted to clear the air a little bit about Yanella Mbuthuma, guys, that, you know what, I like him. He's a good lad. But, you know, for Orlando Pirates and the objectives that we want to achieve, we need more, guys. We've won so much revenue. We've made so much revenue as Orlando Pirates in this previous seasons that it's really not justifiable to what is the reason why we're not buying the players that we need to buy. Why are we not getting the strong players, and why are we not even fielding the players that we actually have acquired before? Some of them are getting injured while on the bench. That is just a question that I'm actually having as a member of Orlando Pirates, to saying, okay, coach, I'm not saying I'm questioning your tactical acumen. I could never question the tactical acumen of a coach. I could never do that. I don't have the coaching stripe, so I could never do that. However, when you say that we want to support a player who's struggling, why still throw him into the deep end of the swimming pool, man? When you can see that he really needs to be here, well, you know, in kindergarten, man. I think Yanella Mbuthuma should also, okay, I know this one is going to break his morale. For him to be playing in the DDC here and there, that one is going to break his morale. But the best thing is for him to come on as a super sub. Yeah, if Yanella Mbuthuma could be brought on as a super sub, I think it could start to rebuild his confidence again. So the first thing that I would do, you know what, Mabhakaniya? First thing I would do to try and bring the confidence of Yanella Mbuthuma, I would pretend that he's injured. I would fake an injury. Similar to Tshepang Moremi, that he has received a knock. Then don't play him this coming weekend. Then introduce him from the bench because he's not 100%. Not 100%. Then take it from there. Start him from the bench, because I know our media, man, yo, young niggas suck lollipops. Yassi. You know, our media, the minute if he gets benched, they're going to start saying that, yeah, coach, why did you bench him whatsoever? But they know exactly why he needs to be benched. So the best way to bench Yanella Mbuthuma is to fake an injury, similar to Tshepang Moremi, then say, introduce him from the bench slowly, surely, and then he's going to get his groove back on. He's going to start hitting those goals. I mean, you know, when you're sitting on the bench and just watching all the lads playing, you're like, you can see the loophole now. You can see who is a weakness. And you're like, by the time the coach wants to bring you on, you're not even listening to the tactics, because you already know what you need to do. And you just bang them in, and you silence all the critics, including this one, me. Okay, I'm not a critic. I'm supporting him. I'm being constructive with my criticism, you know. So yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking about Yanella Mbuthuma's situation. But yeah, Mabhakaniya, you know what? We got tomorrow as well. Let's wrap it up tomorrow. Let's continue everything, the build-up to Sekhukhune United, the MTN 8. It's going to be an interesting one, guys. It's going to be lovely. So yeah, let's check it out tomorrow. I'm going to be here as well. We're going to do a lot of streams, and we're going to be doing tactical ones, you know, where we're going to be moving formations and stuff like that. We're going to try and play around with that as well. So yeah, Mabhakaniya, shout out for being in this stream as well. Shout out for subscribing to the channel, for smashing that like button as well. And shout out for sharing it as well, and also going to be part of the streams in the future ones as well. But for me, X, definitely mark my spot, and definitely out of the spot. You know?